Shawna Bowen is an author and therapist in Sedona, Arizona. She arrived at the Sweat Lodge just as the tragedy was unfolding, and she joins us now from Los Angeles. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Describe the scene when you got there. What did you see?
Basically, everyone had been removed from the Sweat Lodge. The Sweat Lodge was a little ripped up. And basically, I came upon a lot of the people who had fallen ill and the ones that were not breathing. They were just kind of lying around the Sweat Lodge, and then there were others kind of tending that weren't as sick to the ones that were lying down that were ill.
And was Mr. Ray there at the time?
Yes, I did see Mr. Ray at the Sweat Lodge where the other people were lying down.
And how was he responding when this was going on?
When I arrived, and again, I kind of arrived a little late, he was standing over kind of near the Sweat Lodge, kind of watching over what was going on. I didn't see him really necessarily attend to anyone personally, but he did seem concerned, shocked, and just was kind of just standing there watching as the paramedics did their thing. You've
been in these Sweat Lodge ceremonies before, right, yourself? Not with him necessarily, but just in other ceremonies, right?
Being in Sedona, it's just, I've been there for 9 years, and I've been doing Sweat Lodge for 9 years with Native American elders, yes.
Okay. When you talked to these people, and you saw these people who had come out of this, and it was clear something had gone horribly wrong, is there a point at which you say to yourself, maybe I ought to get out of here? Did anybody have that conversation?
After the immediate crisis was over and the people that needed to go to the hospital had been taken by ambulance, I did stay and talk with some of the other people. I talked with one woman who had said that she was kind of located in the back of the Sweat Lodge, and she was one of the women that actually passed out in the Sweat Lodge, was dragged out, and then was brought kind of back.
Right, revived.
And she kind of woke up out of it. She described that it was very hot and crowded, and that when the little door would open so that you could basically put more hot rocks in as you did rounds, she was describing that being in the back, she didn't really ever receive any like fresh air and or any relief. Whereas when I've been in Sweat Lodge, when the door opens, which is kind of a nice thing, usually there's like 4 doors where you open them, you kind of get this fresh air and some relief in between rounds.
Yeah, you're should I say at least a fan of Mr. Ray's. What goes through your mind as you came upon this Sweat Lodge and you realized that this happened under his supervision?
It was a very confusing time for me, and I have to say that when the people were there and needed to be tended to, I just kind of went into crisis counselor mode, and I wasn't thinking. I was just tending to one woman in particular until the ambulance took her. After that, as I processed, I felt myself very confused. I looked up to this man, and given what I know about Sweat Lodge and what I saw, I was confused, emotional, and wondering what he had planned to say or do, or how he planned to respond to what had happened.
Yeah. Well, Shawna, thank you very much for taking the time to share your story with us this morning.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.